Differentiated instruction. Differentiated instruction is teaching instruction and lessons that have been adjusted to fit the different needs of every student in a classroom. They are developmentally appropriate for each student. They fit student interests and learning preferences, such as visual, kinesthetic, auditory learners. So why differentiate? By adjusting for where each student is academically, it doesn't leave any students behind. It gets students excited about learning by appealing to their individual interests, and it helps students become more independent learners by having them work with their peers in order to problem solve and teaching multiple ways to present and apply their knowledge. Where does differentiation happen best? Somewhere where students feel supported. In order to tailor lessons to individual needs, the teacher must really know the academic levels and interests of each student. Where group work is encouraged and supported, and where students have some control in how and what they learn. The atmosphere that is created and in this type of classroom is part of the learning environment necessary for differentiated instruction. So what does it actually look like in a classroom? Differentiation takes on many different shapes based on the students in the class and their needs. But it can look like students working in small groups to complete assignments, or individuals working independently in centers to clarify and review material learned in a whole class setting. The aspects of differentiation that you can see in the classroom are also part of the learning environment. So how does this apply to student work? Well, it breaks down into four main parts: content, process, products, and environment. The content is what student needs to know. This can be differentiated using multiple ways of delivery for the same or similar material. Using audiobooks as well as traditional text to help students with visual impairments or struggling readers and auditory learners. Using videos can help visual learners, and creating movements that go along with steps in a problem can help kinesthetics learners as well as students that struggle with attention. Process is how they work through and master content, differentiated to support different learning styles and ability. Using manipulatives is a good way to help hands-on learners. Relating information to students' interests gets kids more invested in what they're learning. Individual schedules and due dates for students who may require a little bit more structure, or tiered activities based on the student's prior knowledge and skill levels. This will help them grow and not only help them not get left behind, but will also help those students who are ahead dig deeper into subjects. Product is how the student can demonstrate they have mastered the content. One of the main keys to differentiated products is the ability to choose. They can choose how many to work with, for example, possibly individual, in a pair, or in a group. Choice in how to present their knowledge, a paper versus a presentation, or creating their own project to show the growth in a subject. The key to this is clear expectations and rubrics. This allows students the freedom, but still gives them enough structure to tell what you want from them. Environment. This refers to much more than extensive and sometimes expensive field trips. This is providing centers for personal discovery in a subject, and these can be in your classroom, or using the whole school as your classroom, taking advantage of the computer lab, library, and gymnasium, getting outside, even if it's just to the playground, as well as quiet spaces to allow your students who struggle with focus to really narrow in. Mixing up your environments keeps things interesting and keeps attention while allowing for more room to learn. So what does this actually mean for you? Well, as a teacher, it means establishing strong relationships with students and actively monitoring and assessing students' progress along the way. so you can continue to adjust and tweak group work as well as the lessons themselves. And as a parent or student, it means more hands-on homework assignments and more active involvement in how and what you learn. This was a very brief overview of what differentiated instruction can and may look like in your or your student's classroom.